Hey, welcome to the AEGIS stream. Um, Welcome back. Happy Halloween. Today on the AEGIS stream, we are starting our fantabulous Road to Kickstarter series, which is our streams, our series of playtest and showcase streams leading up to our actual factual Kickstarter launch on January 17th. That's right, January 17th is the date. I'm not pushing it back anymore. It will happen. Everything is set. The die is going to be cast. So the things that we're doing in the meantime are we are doing these streams and tying up stuff. We're working on the Aegis 2 scenario book, which will be a thing on the second Kickstarter, and part of that is testing out all sorts of wacky additional rules and game modes using our now near finalized set of Aegis 2 robots. So hopefully we'll have the scenario book all nice and put together by the time the Kickstarter launches, and that way we'll be able to print it at the same time as the game. Yada yada yada. Anyway, today we're doing Spooky Halloween stream using Spooky Halloween rules. My name is Breeze. I am the creator of Aegis, and I am joined today by who is joining me today?
I will go first. No, we're actually Breeze's imaginary friends, and Breeze is in denial about that. We're not real stream. But also, hi, I'm Breeze's imaginary friend, Epic Impulse. I am in the fantasy of Aegis being a pro-competitive sport on the levels of Yu-Gi-Oh! And having actual hologram projections in tournament play. I am a former world champion and am on this stream that is currently not happening. We'll be playtesting the experimental Punished Einer team, which does imply that we're gonna get like battle scarred Einer art. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Saucy Punished Einer stretch goal, please.
And then who are you playing against?
I'm Breeze's long-term hallucination that just tells some terrible puns. I'm Kettle. I'm one of the designers of the game. And I'm playing the Star Sheriff Stell team, which is another new team that's been in the works for a bit. This team is built around boosting the distance your robots can attack, and you get some pretty cool art there with a revolver Stell robot.
The coolest thing is that both of these teams are your baby, Kettle. You
They
designed them.
are my baby. Yes.
If they're bad, they'll be your fault. If they're good, it will be my work. But yeah, these.
And
two
much less
teams...
like any baby I have, they spent a few weeks with their Uncle Breeze, and they came back a little strange. So.
Yeah.
This implies unlocked Kettle lore, where Kettle is apparently a parent to many babies.
These two teams are robots like 75 through 100 in Aegis 2, and they will definitely only exist if we hit stretch goals. But we're doing another 100 robots in Aegis 2, probably, if we make a lot of money. Said I wouldn't do it again, but we are. 100 robots, it's a nice round number. And finally, to round out the stream staff, we have Yampy.
Yes, I am I am Breeze's other. I am the ghost in the machine that runs the Aegis streams. There we go.
Absolutely. All right, cool. So what are we doing today? New Einer team, new Stell team, 2 returning characters from Aegis 1. What have they been up to? Well, you'll find out in the Kickstarter where we post their lore and their art. Stell got a hat, and these two teams are made to be packaged together. They have some new abilities. that are kind of specific to their own teams. And we're going to be playing on Starpoint mode today, Aegis 2's brand new game mode. That's good. You alternate turns back and forth, and you try to capture these titular star points on the board that are numbered. And if you stand on them, you deal damage to your opponent. Both of you have a Valor health count. You start at 20, and it will go down based on how many letters the robot is that is standing on the star point. And if you stand on your opponent's color-coded star point near their start zone, you deal double damage. And the last gimmick is if you're standing on a star point, you can pay 1 energy, roll a die, and then that die will spit out a cool new ability that is specific to this game mode. And of course, the Halloween twist is that normally in Starpoint, when your robots get blown up, you respawn them in a start zone. The cool thing, though, is instead of that in this Halloween mode, it's the Robot Masquerade. And if your robots die, you get to instead play one of a bunch of robots that are in your hand. So we dealt out a bunch of combined robot cards ahead of the game starting, and every time a robot dies, you'll be able to play one of these cards in its place, and it'll come into play in your start zone. And so you can lose your single-letter robot, and you can pop out a 5-letter robot, and that's why normally Star Point starts that both players have like 10 or 11 health, and this time you're starting at 20 because there will be lots of more letters of robot floofing around. And I think the only restrictions on this are going to be that you can only have 9 total letters of robot in play at a time. So if you want to play your level 5, you can just choose to have your robot stay dead, and then next time one dies, you can play your level 5, I guess. And then, is that right? No. As soon as your first letter robot dies, you can play your level 5, because 4 plus 5 is 9. And you also can only control one commander at a time. So if your commander is still alive, you can't play another commander robot from your hand if there's a commander robot in your hand. All right, that is it. Kettle and Epic Impulse will face off in this very spooky robot masquerade, and we'll see who can dump the biggest robots on the board, and it'll be a festival. All right, roll to see who goes first.
Right. Go, dice roll.
And they're off.
Well, Snake Eyes.
I actually want a dice roll for once.
I was like, wow. I was gonna be prepared to make Dungeon Dice Masters jokes to be like, haha, we're Aegis players costuming as Dungeon Dice Monsters players for this stream. Konami, please don't sue.
Ah, yes. Konami, please don't sue. The famous Aegis tagline.
Let's go here.
Okay, I'm set up.
I am setting up. Let's put you here and you here.
The Esha and the Esper.
Yeah, I figure we're not combining this game, so I'm going to try something sillier.
Hey, you figure you're not combining this game,
Yeah, I think with the possibility of Star Die Roll 1. Of course, this is the part where my strategy of Star Die Roll 1 falls apart by never rolling a 1 on the Star Die. Or a 6. So, we'll see. Okay.
We will see.
I'm set up. You may take the first turn.
Alrighty. Haven't played Starpoint in a bit, so let's see what I'm at. Still over there. 4.
A-type healer. That's gonna be a game changer, honestly.
New arrows is pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I saw
Right?
that and I was like, oh, that looks interesting.
I forget what precise is again, though.
So, for what precise is, and that's a brand new keyword in this set. Precise, if your robot targets something that's at its max distance, it gets +1 accuracy.
Oh.
So this actually works pretty interestingly with Stealth's commander ability, which lets me increase the range of my actions for some extra energy.
Right? Just make it like 5. And, well, especially if you get to roll those dice, because then recharge on this might be kind of busted. But of course,
You're right.
yeah, of course, I've yet to continue the, like, I think, what was it? It was TD, Train, and myself made the Aegis 1 robot tier list, and I think we eventually have to walk it back and look at how those rank with Aegis 2's robots, and then rank Aegis 2's robots. Like how those ranks still hold up. All right, we have strategies going on. I see you're avoiding your friendly star points.
Wait, you mean the way to win the game isn't just to stand on as many star points as you can and roll as many funny dice as you can?
Don't worry, I promise to do that for stream shenanigans. First off, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh wait, I forgot to check what yeah, we won't use that for now. All right, I forgot to count energy. I totally remember how this game plays. 5, 10, 14, 19. Okay. I have not a bad pool of energy. And this was 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That was 5. Then we're going to spend 7. And then roll the first star point die. It begins.
Wait, question. I thought Starpoint was usually alternate activations.
Oh. It is, I think. I think we should.
You lousy cheaters. Well, just pick it. Just after this turn, just, after this round's over, just do it the way you're supposed to do it.
Okay, whoops. Hey, here we go. Exactly what I wanted. I'm going to replace this robot with a robot in my spooky hand. And I'm going to replace it with a SAR 5000. Which I don't think the token ever spawned for me.
That's weird.
Yeah.
It might be a little broken. Just just use a placeholder for now.
So SAR 5000, that is one of the robots that actually has some updated art.
And it's really pretty. I do like how it. Well, I'm probably overthinking it because I'm on a Gundam Universal Century binge. Yes, I know The Witcher Mercury is out. Yes, I know it's good. But it also came out while I'm in like Unicorn.
People say Witch for Mercury is like not realistic, but then like I watched Unicorn last year and it's just like magic space children. It goes completely unhinged, and I'm like, this is far less believable than a school setting.
I mean, I'm sorry, you're watching Gundam and looking for believable,
right? But anyway, so let's do an alt zoom in whenever a cool new robot that we can talk about the art for a sec.
Yeah. So, Okay, now that I'm actually looking at it, maybe I was overthinking it, but I was like, oh yeah, it has like the bits floating about, like certain Gundam models, where it has like, well, actually no, they're not always called bits. I forget what they're called when it's like the cubile.
Um, I know the word too, and now it's off. But in this game, we call them drones. Um, what are they called? Funnels.
Funnels.
Yes. So yeah, we introduced funnels in the Aegis 2, and this is a robot that can make them. Um, one of many arts by Noah Nagata in this set. Definitely one of the cooler. This is I like this the way this one came out a lot. It's just absolutely weird and wild. Usually we do the weird. Our other main artist, that did like the other half of the set, Gen Trigger, usually does like the weird ones. But I had like a very clear image in my head of this Lego monster, and that's usually falls into Noah's purview. And then you'll see some more arts come out. Actually, our third artist, Nathan, did a lot of the robots for this specific Einer versus Stealth thing, but his aren't very nicely laid out because they're still playtest cards. But yeah, this is Star 5000 is an example of what like a final card will look like. It'll like pop out of the frame. It's neat. I kind of like the fact that it covers the flavor text. Because it says I can't hear you, but in the art's like literally overlapping it. But anyway, yeah, this is cool. It's on the 7th pre-built team in Aegis 2, which is full of dinosaur robots, and it's very cool.
Noah also did the art for the new Einer.
True. Yeah, well, I'll show off Einer himself and Einer's new art closer, like when it's actually nicely laid out on a card and not like an InDesign playtest spit out. Because I want to
Still looks really cool.
do the art justice. It is really cool.
Any other new pieces of art on the Einer team while we're looking at them?
No, continue playing. We'll just bring it up as they come up.
Yeah. I don't have SAR token. I'm gonna try to dig.
Just use something else for now. It's like buried in a bag somewhere.
Yeah. I'm just going to use the Esper token.
Sure.
Just for all intents and purposes, that's a SAR 5000.
There you go.
Oh, perfect. There we go. SAR 5000. Out and ready. Will shard as needed. I probably should have put something deadlier, but I was like,
weird.
Or bulkier.
Now, it does not trigger the combine abilities when it comes after the
it does not.
spooky rule,
It
right?
does not. So you do not get to spit out 3 SAR tokens at the same time. Wow.
Which I was banking on for this strat.
But luckily, it can poop them out just by paying 2 energy. You don't even need to roll for it, which is cool. Our tokens are just little turret drones that can shoot from like 10 spaces away.
But also, it has the ability Sharding SAR, where after being damaged, I create a SAR drone in an adjacent hex.
It's true. It just poops out drones all day.
Yes, it be pooping the drones. But yeah, so let's see. I have some energy left. So I think for giggles, I'm going to... Well, I have to think now, because now I have level 3. I have 7 levels of robot on board. 1, 2. And I think I'm going to just try to roll to see if I get energy. Is it dangerous? Yes, but that's the fun. A 3. 3 damage to a star pointer. I don't have to activate this. Right? I could just be like, nah.
You could use it to make a SAR token if you feel like it.
I feel like your next turn will make me plenty of SAR tokens.
Yeah, all-star die results are optional.
Okay, so I will ignore that, and then actually wait. If I'm moving with the last of my energy, I might as well just do 1, 2, 3. and turn end. So I don't score the spot this turn. So let's see if you shed first blood.
All right, and now starting from here, play correctly with going back and forth.
All right.
So both of you reset your energy at the same time, and then Kettle will take the first
11,
turn, and you'll go back and forth.
Ah, it's machine chess rules. Okay.
Yes. I forgot about it being machine chess as well.
The only difference is that there's no like first player token that gets passed around like in the original machine chess rules. It'll just always probably whoever went last will go second in the new round. So since Epic moved the most recent robot, Kettle gets to go first in the new round, and you just go back and forth until your energy or your robots run out, and then if Kettle has like 3 more robots to move, then he'll move 3 more robots. And it costs 1, just to answer Kettle's question to me, it costs 1 energy to roll the star die. And you can do that before you move, after you move, etc., etc., as part of a robot's activation, but you just can't, a robot can't do it more than once in a turn.
Great. So, for my action, I'm going to move the L300 back 1. Sorry, that token symbol's L300. The arrow's 500. Which actually also has some new art, if we want to.
So. Oh wait,
the
should
new
I
arrows
alter?
here. I mean, you can, but you're not the one hosting the stream, so.
Okay. Yeah.
So, new arrows here the arrows all have some form of single target utility ability as their second action, and this one here actually has a repair, which is very interesting on an A-type.
Yeah, this
See that with the,
art is done by a new artist, Jeeb, and he did, I think, 3 pieces so far in this Einer Stella mock-up. He's really good, and I hope we can get more stuff from him. This all these Einer Stella robots, like I said, are playtest stuff, so it doesn't have a fancy background, and the robot isn't placed all nice and stuff inside the frame. But you can admire how nice the robot looks.
Yeah, and I think this is like I'm foreseeing this being a very big game changer because, at max range it has +1 accuracy, so these just hit. So being in 5 range of it will always be scary because 2 damage, kind of not fun. And then 2 heal, solid. Even there's an Aegis 1 robot, the Snow 400, the support made by like the machine gods themselves. Hello?
Well, so another fun thing about Arrows 500 is actually has combined repair, which is a combined ability that's also new in this. We did not have much in the way of repair in Aegis 2 before this set. So what that does is when you combine with the Arrows 500, you can repair an ally robot by 1 as well. So just a lot of utility that you can run in your A slot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to show off a few other cool stuff from the new Stealth team right now, actually. I'm going to combine the Arrows 500 and the Gel 300. If we want to take a look at the Gel 300 real quick, because I'm going to be making use of its Combine Drop passive. And also, its fancy new art. It's a hamster with an old-timey rocket jetpack. What's not to love?
Also not actually, in terms of background placement and all that, it's also not final, but the robot does look cute. This one's by Nathan, who did several robots across standard Aegis 2, and then he did like a majority of the basic robots in Einer Stell that you're looking at.
So, big thing with Einer Stell is the Einer team is fairly aggressive, but the Stell's team is more of like a long-range artillery team to make use of the range up from Stell. So we tried to make do with that with precise to reward your positioning, and then as well as like the L and the gel and all of that. So the other fun thing though is the Gel 300 has both combat drop and a new passive called Combine Drop. What Combine Drop does is when you use this robot as part of a combine, you get to attach that jetpack to the combine robot, launch it into the sky, and you have to drop it back on the board on your next turn. So some fun added repositioning and defensive tool for your combines. And that
Yeah,
is
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited to see how this ability tests. In Starpoint, that means you're not going to see that robot until like the next time your energy refills. It's going to be gone for like a while.
But it does also mean that's 2 points I can't get this turn.
It's true. And then when it
it's
poops
also
back-
funny.
it's also and it comes into play at the end of turn, and we'll get to that when we come to. I have to think about whether that happens before or after. When points trigger.
So
I think points trigger at the start of a turn. I have to look at the rules specifically. But anyway, yes, your robot flies into space and it'll come down 10 minutes from now.
Well, in the final round of cool new robots here, I'm going to be combining them with the new Arrows 1000, who, before it goes, is going to drop a pretty nice defense buff on my Stel.
Means I cannot poke that very easily.
So
yeah, that's one of the that's another cool thing about Aegis 2 is you can trigger multiple combine abilities and you can like sort them whichever way you want. So yeah, you can do the thing where you trigger the defense buff and then you can fly off in the air, which is what Kettle just did. And so you can.
And the Arrows 1000 also has some really cool new art.
Oh yeah, it's another new one by Jeeb. We had him do, actually just this little set of there's a new Go, a new arrows, and this new AG arrows. Yeah, no, this is probably one of the probably the coolest AG robot with its hand ballista and its like mantis look.
I love it. And like this might be, I don't know if this is intentional, but it also has like that hint that there might be a higher level point of combine where it's like, oh, it's a centaur now. Like the mantis tail like pokes back and you shove like the hind there to connect.
That actually might be. There is a level 4 arrows that needs art, and it definitely needs art design. So maybe we'll do the centaur.
I was when designing that Arrows, I was actually leaning more Banshee and inspiration, but the same mythological
there's like a lot of there's a lot of different ways that can go.
Also, you just
Anyway,
need to make an
Monster
AI
Manual.
arrows that has an evasion buff, and then you'll have an arrows for each buff type in the game.
I think that's like the long-term goal.
That's the long con. You're revealing Aegis 4 plans too early.
Every arrows gets to dabble into every type of mana.
These spoilers, you'll have to push back future Aegis releases now to cover for this.
Oh, I know. He'll release Aegis 4 when I'm 80 at this rate. So, yeah, so your arrows goes and flies off into space while I go consult the rulebook about whether that will score you points later or not.
Amazing. I think that is my activations, and it's now Epic's turn to do something.
Great. Very easily just keep my sword here and... Well, actually, can I shoot beams? That's the most important question. Can I shoot a beam? Actually, drones do score points. Wait.
I believe they do, but then they also take away your life if destroyed, just like a level 1. Unless I'm wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So yeah, they can capture points and they are a huge liability. They giveth and they taketh.
This is like a tough choice. Just thought, what do I do here? Because I could leave the SAR there to score points. Maybe start applying some pressure, but you also have an L right in the middle. Oh, okay. It's ranged and then burst. But that's still kind of scary. Well, okay, it's 2 damage in a zone where actually we're gonna start with Iron Axe. And we're just gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're gonna roll the star point dice. 4, 5, 6. But actually, wait, let me see if I want. This is my first robot. I could actually make him take a damage from. Will he benefit from that?
So what you're deciding on is Einer's new commander ability, Punish Time, right?
Yes. So the first time I use a robot to take an action, I can take a damage to choose for either +1 damage, +1 distance, or reroll 1 until the end of the turn. So I could use the damage and plink with the Arc Vulcan, but that's only going to be worth it if I like crit once. So that's not worth the gamble. So what we are instead going to do is take the star point, roll the dice, because it's a pretty mode with pretty dice. We're going to do it. 22 minus 6 is 16, and then -1 is 15. I swear I know math. Or we can move 4 spaces. So I forget. Actually, this changes things, but can I use my star point before doing an attack, after, or both?
Like the
Brace-
die?
Using a star die, the star die is basically a light action. You can use it at any time during the robot's activation.
Okay, so I will move 4 spaces. I'm assuming I had to have made the choice for Einer's ability before doing the star point dice.
Would you have to?
The first time you use an action each turn.
Oh well, an action as in an attack and not rolling the star die. That
Okay. Then I'm going to this is actually take a damage. Give myself reroll 1 and Gambit 3 for an arc blade on the L. So I have to roll 4s or higher on 3 dice. If 2 of them fail, this will be an automatic failure, though I do get to reroll 1. Okay. I'm going to reroll this 3. Oof, that's 2 damage.
2 damage to my L.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, that's still pretty good. It forces you to play defensively with the O now. Or to.
Oh, I
combine it.
see. The token said it only had 3 on it.
Yeah, that's why.
That's what the confusion was.
Yeah. Oh, right. I do have to spend that 3 energy. I mean,
Misprint on the token.
yeah. Am I allowed to, like, roll the 4th dice? Or. I will. Well, actually, no, I wouldn't have gambited 4. I would have probably done 3 anyway and just been like, let me put it in dire straits.
Gambit on a. Gambling 4 on a 1/4 up is a bit risky.
Yeah. Like, I think I did. Yeah, I think I would have done Gambit 3 on the. Just because I had the reroll. So I can save a bad die. So let me just make sure I did my math right. 6, 1, 4 movement was 3. Yep, okay. All right, and the reroll. That was an expensive turn. 6. Star die. Yeah, okay. So that is my activation.
Okay. Tricky. I'm going to roll star die.
All right.
Hey!
Hey,
What am I doing here?
it's morphin' time.
I got options, okay? What's the funniest? So just to confirm, Breeze, with the when the combined drop unit's off the board, it still counts as letters on my board for how many I can have total, correct? That's how we're playing this.
What was that?
With my combined drop robot off the board, it still counts as
Yes, it still counts as part of your
yeah,
active
still counts
team.
towards my letters.
You can cheat.
I'm not cheating. That's why I asked. What do you take me for? Not gonna be fun.
It's going to be interesting because you have the swap, then you have a level 2 dropping somewhere.
Which won't score him, by the way. We'll say that the combat drop robot comes in after the
Yeah,
points.
I'd
are given.
assume summoning sickness.
Let's go with... This one seems funnier for now. I'll bring out the SO6000. Let's go with that. And I think that's all the activating I can do for this round.
Boy, the SO6000. The all-seeing eye. Wait, does reveal true form work with the bots in your hand?
Kind of curious myself, actually.
Absolutely.
Tree's just like, why not?
Now, question, Breeze. Can I reveal true form to swap the SO6000 with my L Soul while I have Soul on the field? Because it's the same commander ability.
Can you what?
Can I reveal true form into
Oh,
the
you
L
can't-
Soul
you-
because
no,
it
you
has the
can't.
same commander ability?
You can't control more than one commander robot at a time.
Okay.
You could always side combine the SO6000 to the L Soul, though.
Oh, 100%. I just want to make Bree sweat a little. Okay, I think that's all I can do. So, your activation now.
I'm planning. I'm doing sinister things.
Are you?
Maybe? I hope.
I hope not.
I think I will activate. trying to think, because this can't activate. You have 2 activations left. Aside from some star point shenanigans. So I should probably work to prevent those. So I'm going to start with the Shaw. And we're going to go straight into star point dice. A 4. Move 4 spaces. Okay.
The 4 can move any Starbot 4 spaces, right? Or is that different?
Actually, yeah, this will
Yep.
actually change.
Yempy is correct. You roll a 4 and you can move any robot on a star point in 4 spaces.
Oh, that's a game changer.
That's important. It's used for mainly, you can use it to
1,
boost all your
2,
guys.
Yeah,
with
that's a, you
3.
can't move it through a wall, I don't think, though.
Oh,
That's-
is it? Oh, right.
true.
It's. Oh, I thought because it had flight, but no, that does make sense.
I believe it still follows ICA movement rules in this case. So
1, 2, 3, 4. So I can move after a light action, right? I just can't activate.
yeah, well, you already moved to get on there, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I was parked.
You didn't?
Nope.
Ah, okay.
Parked there last turn.
Then yeah, you can move.
I just can't shoot, right?
No, you can take your whole. The star
You can shoot.
die doesn't take any of your.
I thought it was a light action. I thought you can.
It's basically a light action in that you can use it whenever, but no, it doesn't replace anything on the robot's turn. You can, like, use it and then move an attack, or move attack and then use the star die, or whatever.
3. And then we're gonna shoot for 3. This will probably be 1 damage and a blaze, which probably. Oh, not on my own bot. The SO. I don't want to light my own bots on fire. That's not nice.
One damage and a blaze.
All right, so 1 damage and a blaze. Though I don't think the blaze will do anything this turn.
Well, I can't move it, so
Yeah.
that's probably correct.
Oh well, plinking is plinking. That is my activation.
Right. I'm going to move Ion back 1. I'm going, before I roll the star point die, I'm going to shoot at you
That's
with
rude.
my micropulsar ambush.
Oh, which won't have precise, but it's
will
still
not.
rude. What did
It
he do
is
to
3,
What
looking
did
for
punish
49.
Einer do to you? Hasn't he been punished enough? Oh,
That is 2 successes.
so that's
So
2
2 energy
drain.
burn and a rust.
Yeah, that's mean. Where are the energy burn tokens?
Over with the rest of the tokens. There.
Yeah, I got them. I'm just like, wow, this. I don't remember the last time Drain came up in a fight.
Well, I'm going to spend 1 to roll the star point die.
It's one of those Drain. I love you, but that's a move 4 spaces.
Any way of making hitting my thing with the soar awkward this turn?
I mean, you could get Sar off the point.
I could. I was trying to avoid getting shoved off the board by your push cannon.
Here's
Well,
an
remember,
idea.
the board
You can
is a
move the
wall.
soar off of this point and onto the center point instead.
Ooh, fancy.
Balance. I think in Starpoint, the wall is, well, the border is a wall, so it's like being pushed into an obstacle.
Ah, so you gotta be pushed off the back of the board. Got it.
Yes. Yes, the sides are, you're right, the sides are walls.
Right, same as the river board. Got it. So,
Yes. Wow, that's
3
rude.
and 4.
Very rude. I don't like that. entirely rude and unnecessary.
And you work out.
I think. For blood for the blood gods, I move 3, roll a star point die. Four, move 4 spaces.
You can either move your Esha or my Ion in this case.
Oh right, it's star point bot. Hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I don't want to be next to him. It's kind of rude.
Well, actually, hold on. I think you take the first turn because I don't think you have any more. You have stealth. So I do want to make it harder for you to get the shot. So I think I will put here. Because it's up to 4, right? I don't have to go 4.
I believe that's correct.
Okay. So yeah, let's put in 5 knuckle shuffle range and okay, so that was my last activation because I will be out of energy now.
All right. I will. Is there any point to disarming you? Breeze, when does like disarm and all that fall off in machine chess mode?
It falls off at recharge, so if the robot's already done a thing, there's no point in disarming them specifically.
Okay. I've been informed my energy tracker can't actually be seen because it's like barely intersecting a zone. So 1 second.
You want it to be on the
So,
other
shoot
side
zone.
of your player board in theory.
Yeah. That visible on stream?
No. There's a yellow line,
Okay,
right?
let me.
That's like the area that's visible on stream, basically.
Okay, let me move the zone real quick.
I was just saying that it should be visible to Epic. It doesn't need to be like visible to this.
There we go. Okay. Final action, there's no point in disarming him.
You could repair Ray, Sigma him, turn punished Einer into a Sigma male, rise and grind.
I'm going to fire the repair ray at my ESO.
That is not very Sigma of you.
It is perfect accuracy, so it's just going to guarantee to hit, so I don't even know if I need to roll for it. Well, it has recharge, but not that that matters.
Well, you got
I would've
recharge.
recharged.
Oh,
So that is a full repair on my ESO.
I love how the answer to how to solve the Snow 400 being the broken 2-heal robot is to make many 2-heal robots.
It's
Which
on
I
a
love.
commander, it's fine.
Yeah, this one's on a commander, so it's fine. But also, I love it. I love it.
Why is there just a black box over my...
I think maybe someone created a zone over your card.
Yeah, it's also all still being balanced anyway. Like, there's no repair in Aegis 2 aside from in these teams, so I probably forgot how good repair is.
I mean,
Well, the other repair in the set also has a bit of a downside.
Yeah.
yeah. I was about to say, I think I have a repair on set that blazes the target.
Yeah, it's actually some new art if we want to show that real quick, because you're not actually
Yeah,
running
sure.
it.
There.
Your two
Yeah.
sideboard cards are also new art.
Yep. So we have
Well,
a salve that cauterizes your wounds. It's literally a chicken with a flamethrower, which is just beautiful.
I don't know if
Don't be hating on Welder Chicken.
No, I love Welder Chicken. Is Welder Chicken forklift certified?
yes. That's another good one by Nathan. I think that's actually the most recent art that's been completed. That was like done a few days ago. It'll have a cool. It'll be placed better and have a shadow and a cool background and all that. But yeah, that's a salve. That's a giant welding thing attached to it.
And then on the other end of my sideboard, we have the thruster turkey.
Yeah, and that's the other art by Jeeb. He scoot. He throws himself into things. He has a push, but he pushes himself, and he will deal collision damage to himself and other robots. And that's also like a recurring sort of sub theme on Punish Diner's team. Is self push, and like
Self harm.
yeah, self harm. That's why the repairs.
You'll see the many of his combines though.
That's why the repairs are so good.
Mhm.
And if you want, you could do crazy interactions like shooting your opponent that has full health with your welding robot to blaze them, and then push them with robot.
Yeah, that's probably one of the intended designs of this team, but also in a mode where you could just swap them out for dangerous combines. Why not?
Right?
So that was your last activation, right?
Yep.
We recharge. You get to drop your big archer somewhere on the board.
I do get to drop the big archer somewhere on the board.
And anywhere too. So you can even just plop them on a star point.
Well, I think
It
you
won't score
built it this turn, so does that mean it? I think
It comes in at the end of my next turn from when I built it, which was so.
So you built it this
come
turn.
in now.
So
No, I built it last turn.
This is the recharge phase of the new turn.
yeah, but you built it.
Yeah, this is turn
here, I
3
think,
now.
right?
I built
With
it on
the-
turn 1. We're heading into turn 3 now.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Time
it'll
is
come in
weird.
now.
5, 11, 15, 20. Okay. Not. Oh, I guess. Yeah. Probably better to play a little defensive.
I'll just drop it in back here. Sadly, because this is an SO, I can't really make the Arozel Soul with this combo here, but oh well.
That would indeed have been funny.
Oh, and Kettle will take one whole damage because there's an Esha sitting on the white star point.
Yes.
Yes.
First blood. And with this, I get the first turn.
We kept rolling the move to move all the bots off the star points.
I just need a clarification on push before I start my next turn. So it is a direction away from me, but do I choose it or?
Yeah, TLDR. Which robot for the self push go?
Or it's the SAR 5000.
The range
Oh.
push.
Oh,
because-
range push? Yeah,
Yeah.
you basically get to, if it's not on like a nice neat little axis, you get to choose. It just has to end up that many spaces away from the user.
Well, no, I'm asking because what I'd like to do is this and push the SO into a wall
Oh yeah, that
many
can,
times.
yeah, that's
And
fine.
I believe it is what, half the number of
Yeah.
tokens? Okay. But it is a light action, so I could always just link it with the shotgun. With the
Also shoot
railgun.
it.
Yeah, no, exactly. So I'm going to move 3.
Kettle does have jamming 3,
Actually,
so you know.
yes, but okay. That gives me chances to proc recharge.
That's true.
So lots of gambling about to go down. So let's see, that's going to be 3, 5, or 8. So let's start with the Braven's Tornado Cannon. I would like to get 4 successes here. Maybe a 1.
I'd like you to not.
No, we recently put that from like a 4 accuracy to a 3. Not that it mattered right
that
there.
is 4
Pretty good.
successes.
Reroll those 5s.
Roll a 5. Well, would you like to take a 4 with it? Or are you just jamming?
Yeah,
2?
let's reroll the 4 as well.
Okay, just checking.
Triple sixes, triple sixes.
Right. Roll the number of the beast on Halloween. Let's go. Oh, so I get a recharge and 3 successes. So that's going to be 1 damage.
And it was free!
And it was free.
I was wondering if it was responsible to put recharge on a 5 energy attack.
No,
like,
but it's
whatever.
funny. And then we're gonna shoot the railgun.
I think Breeze. I think you could atone for that by also adding critical on it.
Just a critical pushing. Oh, it's only
Or
2
5,000 might be a wee bit overtuned.
That's fine. It was undertuned before, so
The balancing process.
it's true.
Undertune, overtune, auto-tune. I believe that is only 1 hit. No, that is 2 hits at aimed.
Would you like to jam?
Would you like to jam?
Yeah.
Honestly, though, what if you did get rid of the recharge and stick critical on it instead?
Critical
success.
push,
That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
right?
Yep, that will be 1 damage then. Wait, didn't it also take a damage from
The push, yeah, it
and
has 4 life.
and then it took 1 from the shot?
I repaired that last turn.
Right. Yes. Okay. Just double checking. All right. That is turn for me.
Oh boy.
Look, eating.
What
I'll take
am I going to
eating
do?
5 of your energy and making you ponder a heal as a win. Oh wait, I forgot about my Einer ability.
Oh, you could have like
I could have shedded HP to do +1 damage, which
No, you
wouldn't have
can't.
helped.
It's aimed. You can't
Right.
alter the aimed attack with damage.
Oh,
Right.
that's cool.
Oh well, I could have done it for the reroll. You know what? Too late.
I kind of like how is sharding worded?
I assumed I wouldn't be able to shard off of that because. Oh wait, no, it's after being damaged.
I think it was intentionally meant so you could punch your own guys to make tokens. I think that's.
Here's the thing. So like activate.
That's a
Wasn't
note.
intended synergy with Einer because I forgot it
didn't
existed when I was dying Einer.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Einer
it is
didn't
synergy.
exist. So, because yeah, there's like a few robots that do like sharding stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe make it specify by an action.
Probably. Unless we just want that interaction. Because it's kind of neat.
That's also possible.
Okay, so build a team around this with Tigre Bros then.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Oh!
oh. Yo, we're about to have S tier
Okay.
Tigre bros. Let's go.
I'm going to activate the arrows 1000. I'm going to use my Sonic Command Brace on my Esso. I am not going to use my Sonic Command Brace on my Esso.
Should have been precise. Oh, it doesn't have precise.
It does not have precise.
That's probably a good thing.
Let's see.
How far is it away? Can't you shoot him?
I will fire at your... I fired the
Like-
Esha.
yeah.
I'm gonna fire my beam arrow meteor at the Esha.
Now I forget. Does Rust apply to rolling the star point die?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
That would be broken. That's a 3 according to Tabletop Sim, so it's a success.
That is 2 damage and a rusty. That's not good. Got a little rusty over here. Little rusty in my dusty. Where are the rust tokens?
It's like over there somewhere. I also finally have graphics for Blazing Rust tokens, so I need to.
Wait.
Cool.
Wait,
Oh,
where
that
they at?
Esha there also has new art. That's one of the new basics.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
it's one of my favorite new things from Nathan. He it looks like an Esha, and it's shiny, and it goes new. This one has accelerator, so it should have. If we keep accelerator on it, I might ask to get the art tuned a little bit because all accelerator robots get little red ribbons or scarves or something. So, but yeah, this is. I think it looks good.
So, Eshas are robots built around doing like self-damage and then an AoE around them. So instead of the base Esha, which just has the AoE with self on it, this sort of fires like a cone in front of it that it catches itself in. But it does have some interesting synergy with the range boost from, say, Einar's passive, which can actually bring it out of its own self-damage range. So,
yeah, wondering if that
some little
interaction
things
is
to
like,
think about.
Is it
No, I was-
intentional? Because isn't accelerator
That interaction's intentional.
or isn't accelerator normally an A faction locked ability?
Yes,
Yeah.
Esha 200 should be a faction lock currently.
Okay.
That's a misprint on the card.
Yeah.
But yes, this is an A-locked Esha. So that is... I go with the arrows here.
We'll say
Really
what I-
hoping to get that defense buff off.
I will say what I
Not
do like
gonna
about
lie.
this Asha is that it doesn't have self. It's just a very nice run-in headbutt in an AoE.
Well, it can't. It will hit itself in the AoE unless you boost its range. So
Ah, yes. Oh, okay.
Can
it's
you?
just it projects it in front of it.
Can you? Kello, did you already move with the SO this turn?
No, but I just acted with the arrows.
Oh, okay. Surprised that you didn't just go straight for the just revealing true form with it.
I didn't. I would have eaten up most of my energy for the turn, and
That's
then
fine.
I was probably better off trying to get the +2 defense buff on it, and then doing stuff with it. But
Oh, logical plays. Logical plays.
Logical plays.
in a poor spot. I didn't make use of the star points on my first round as much as Epic did. I wanted to show off the combined drop and all that.
I mean, look, I now have to worry about a bulky parking bot.
Oh, Arrows
Perfect.
1000's great. I love the robot.
Yeah. Like, actually, it is less bulky than its other AG counterparts, but it has range, and that's horrifying on that combination.
The question is, should it have 2 damage and rust with an AoE?
Well,
on it?
okay. I think that's okay because what's it? Get 1000, 2 damage in a ranged AoE. But I think it's like a very not good range.
Yeah,
Or
we're-
it's like okay.
Oh yeah, we're just trying to be more careful with rust because it Rust is very powerful as an ability because it pretty much just
Yeah.
stops your opponent from being able to like.
Use it. I
He's
mean,
worrying about the Arrows 1000, which I think had the most positive feedback on it of any robot in the playtest of these teams.
yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say it is. I think it being at 5 integrity kind of justifies it because Get 1000 is at 8.
Most of them are at 6 or wait, what?
I think Get 1000's at what? There's something that's at 8. It's either that or the Glaw.
I think Ab 1000 has like 7.
That Refrigerator app has 7. The Get
Claw 1000
has...
has 7. So it has the lowest of all the AG robots, but yeah,
Yeah,
it
Get 1000
like,
has 6.
a bonkers
Yeah.
attack to make up for it.
And it also, part of its G-type identity is with that real nice defense buff on there. A +2 defense buff should not be overlooked.
Yeah. And plus, like, I think it drops and drops a defense buff. So it's not like you can drop it and drop the rust right away.
No.
Yeah.
So it does give your opponent time to, like, force the arrows to come out of hiding to shoot that arrow, or to be like, well, I'm going to sit back and throw defense.
Now,
Yes,
it is
it is.
pretty useful with the combined drop, though, from the gel, because that can let you position it pretty nicely, which is useful with the arcing. So,
It does have the downside of making you use an arrows.
Which, I again, that's another drawback. You're trading. Well, actually, that's kind of neutral. You're trading a utility bot for a utility bot.
Yeah.
Or
Anyway, I think it's your turn, Epic, right?
Yes, I'm stalling to pay.
I will say the main thing with Arrows 1000, if you're choosing to go into that with your arrows, is just it doesn't go into like the Archer bot level 3, which is an AIS type.
Yeah,
So there are some trade-offs.
but I mean, with the existence of, oh wait, no, Arrows of Soul is. I mean, you got the Arrows.
You're thinking of that
8000.
run there.
Yeah, you do have the Arrows 8000, and I gotta say, I love how its flavor text throws shade at Algelion, like referencing the events of season
well.
1.
Yes.
So, yeah.
It's supposed to symbolize some character development. It's like Cell does not use Algelion. She figured out a better everything but S robot.
Although, as a throwback, the stealth team here does have an L, a gel, and an ion.
Yeah.
It's actually intentional.
She saw that and was like, "Hey, I can use this."
So what do you got?
All right, I'm going to move the. I think I'm going to do the Shaw next, and I think I'm going to keep it simple. I'm just going to shoot your SO. Just create that. Hey, maybe force that predicament of, do you let it die and give me points, or do you reveal true form and waste your energy? So that is.
You're rolling hot tonight.
I mean, granted, it's on an attack. Like, I feel like the minute I try to 5-knuckle shuffle with the arc, I'm gonna roll like garbage now.
That's how it goes.
So would you like to jam those?
No,
Okay, so
it's
you are.
not going to kill it. So
Yeah, so you are blinked and blazed, and that'll be that turn. Huh? I'll be right.
okay. Well, Epic's AFK for a sec. I get to think through my turn.
I'm gonna say, what's your strat, Kettle?
I might be revealing true form here.
Yeah, God knows what's in your hand. I don't know what's in your hand. You could also reveal true form into something that's obvious, like Sol.
No, I can't because I have regular soul out still.
Oh, that's true. Yep.
I mean, I could just activate soul and heal up the ESO.
Oh, that is true also. Look at that. You have so many options.
That just means I'm probably gonna have the Einer run over there and try and bonk me to death. Well, it would require a free gambit on that arc blade, or it's like 2 crits. Many choices. I do have something fun I could reveal true form into.
Do it. Make him gasp in audible confusion when he comes back.
I'm back, my dudes.
Do you have enough energy to
Going
walk
to
on?
reveal.
Do you have enough energy to walk onto the star point and then reveal true form? Or is that part of your
No,
plan?
it's blazed. If I move it, it dies.
Oh, it's true. Oh,
I'm going to reveal my true form.
wait, did you just reveal into the same thing?
No.
Okay, because that'd be really funny.
You thought you were fighting Esso, but it was me, Actal.
Ooh, this is going to be...
So Kettle, intuitively, how do you think reveal true form works? And this is a playtest question. Do you think reveal true form on SO 6000 replaces itself and the damage stays, or does the damage not stay?
I would assume if you're just replacing it with our current rules for bringing in the robots, the damage does not stay.
Has that been a playtest question?
Because that would the answer to that question would actually change my turn here.
I think intentionally, I think it doesn't wipe all the stuff off the robot, so it would still have 3 damage and blazing crap on it. If you did reveal true form, but I'm asking also if that's like something that anyone would ever intuit naturally, because I can only fit so much text into the reveal true form text box, and so it has to be very implicit about what it does.
To me, it feels like when you combine a robot, you remove all the damage and stuff, and so to me, it feels like that replacing something should work the same way. That's what I would assume, but
That would be my assumptions if we're trying to keep things simplified.
Yeah, because you are in essence paying roughly the cost of a combine to do less than what a combine does.
Yeah, I'd say so too. Just double checking. I'm glad
Like,
that
its strength
everyone-
is in how much of a wild card of a move it is, but it is, mechanically speaking, less than a combine. Because, yes,
Yeah,
you drop this, but you don't get the combine moves off. Like, you lose the opportunity to, like, wire these two together and puncture 3 of them.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I guess that's fair. Plus, yeah, you're also spending like half to a third of your energy to do so. So that's probably fair for it to melt off statuses and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. So, I guess that makes it my turn then, right?
Does make it your turn.
I think what I'm going to do
Get
is...
that recharge off earlier, which is definitely it, but you have the energy advantage.
Yeah, but it does mean next turn you're going first, most likely. Unless I just stop now, but why? I think now that I pretty much have a relatively safe-ish turn, I think I'm going to start with the Esha, and I'm going to start playing. Let's see what we get. Move any star point bot 4 spaces.
Oh my god.
That's only itself.
Yeah, it is also including itself. It's just really funny. That's the only thing you guys are rolling.
Yeah.
It was a good. I did play a good star point game where pretty much everything rolled was a 3, so we were just dumping 3 damage on each other over and over again.
1, 2, 3, 4. And then I will use 3 energy to park here.
Hey.
Turn end. Like, probably will die, but it will get me point. Then I'll move you 3. Spend a star point.
Well, I'm not done with my
Oh, right.
actions
Oh,
yet.
his-
I still have another
right.
robot I can activate.
My bad.
2 whole energy.
2 energy.
Still
Potentially
Star
more
Point.
if you roll something. Yeah.
Yeah, protection. I get it. And then I will. Wait, that's your turn?
I had 2 energy left. What do you want from
just
me?
making sure. No, I'm just making sure.
Uh,
I don't repeat. I don't repeat it. I'm trying not to be a repeat offender. All right, roll the star point. Oh, exactly.
oh my god.
Funny enough, this is what I wanted. Yeah, so I'm gonna move 1, 2, 3, 4. And
I swear, we've only rolled one thing that wasn't a 1 or a 4 this game, right? Like you rolled a
Yeah.
single 3, and everything else has been a 1 or a 4. Just
Pretty much.
confirming.
Mhm.
Amazing.
And then I think I'm going to just. I should be. I'm tempted to be funny and roll for Gambit. Like, the urge is there.
I mean, if you roll like you did last time, maybe it'll pay off.
Yes, but I also have a feeling the minute I try this is the minute my luck goes down. But I'm also slated to do two damage. Uh, okay. You know what? Odds we ball, evens we don't. All right, we don't ball. So we're gonna go 3. Roll the star point. 3 damage to a star point. Damage
That just straight up kills my Stell.
kill
Great.
the cell. Which does mean I have to worry about another. Well, actually,
And star point kills don't deal damage to
they
Valor.
don't deal damage. But yeah, the most you can bring out is a level 2, which can be scary. That'll be turn end. So damage wise, you take 2 damage. No, 3 damage.
I can only bring out a level 2. If I could have up to, was it? If I was 9 or 10, that I could have max out letter wise.
And I think it was 9.
Yeah, it was 9.
And you have 7
6
out
here,
right
so I could bring out a 3.
now. Ion.
AGI, that's 6.
Oh, right. That's a 2. Okay, yes. I can't read. Welcome to being a math major. You trade your ability to read. Well, engineering major, but still, yes. Once you go into STEM, you give up the ability to read.
Look, I get it. I'm a software engineer. I'm a programmer, not programmer.
Yo, that's real good. I like that.
Okay. Well, So I'm going first this round, huh? I get to just bring something in on the star point.
What's up?
I'm going first this round. I just get to bring something in on that star point there.
I think you bring it back into spawn.
Ah, okay. Breeze, can you clarify how the spawning rules work?
What's up?
How do the spawning rules work? Because I lost my stealth. So,
Uh,
am I putting it in on the star point or back in spawn?
it comes in your start zone during the respawn step, which is when your energy refills.
Great.
Alright, so now it's time to refill our energy.
Do I get the energy from the bot that I'm bringing in, Breeze?
Believe you do?
Yeah, you usually do in Starpoint.
Yeah, you definitely do.
Right. Let's bring in the glaive.
Ooh. The Beyblade.
Okay. Things are a bit awkward.
I mean, you have a very nice aggressive comp in the glaive and the actel, and then you got the arrows backing it up. You got a pretty
Yeah.
scary corner going on. And I'm spread out. This is probably going to swing.
Let's see here. Okay. I'm going to start off. I'm going to... Do I move to the star point and give it my overload, or do I just try and use the overload to murder your soul? That's the question. That's the question indeed. Actually, I'm going to start off and we're trying to fence buff my Actyl using my arrows.
Hmm.
Oh, jeez. Where's the ones? Going to fire at your... Yeah, I'm gonna fire at your sore. My... Okay, that worked. That is 2 damage, arc, and rust.
That's going to be bad news. Oh,
should
wait,
get that
but
defense
I
buff.
shard. I get to shard here. I just have to find where the games are. So I get to drop a SAR drone. I'm going to tactically place it right here. Actually, here. And that's turn for you, right?
That's all I can do with my arrows this turn. So.
The question is, do I go for maximum sharding? This does not have jamming, so I can start hoping for.
Yeah, I was really hoping to get that defense buff off. Otherwise, I would have done that turn differently. Oh well.
Yeah. You know what? You want a damaged sword? You can have a damaged sword. I'm gonna take a damage though for first thing there, and place a token here. Move 1, 2. Roll the star point. Wow. Move any star point dot 4 spaces.
Your Esha or your sword.
Right. Well, actually, or my arc. Yeah, I think I'm gonna move the arc. Might be a plan. Okay. I don't know if I should wait for Yampy to draw lines.
Wait, what? Line
Oh.
where? Sorry, sometimes I zone out a bit.
No worries. So I moved the SAR forward to this way.
Okay.
Then I'm star pointing the arc over this way. Then I'm going to shoot the tornado cannon at Axel, which procs Rust, which lets me shard. I believe this is... Wait, no, that's out of... Would this still have line of sight?
Yes.
Okay. Gonna do that. So I roll me 5 dice. Actually, I will shard it over here. Because I realize it'll get in the way of line of sight for the next part of my big plan. Or maybe it won't. We'll see. Wow. So that's 3 successes. So that's going to be 1 damage regardless. So I'm going to push it this way. Like, I'm going to push it. Can I push it into your arrows?
I don't think you can keep zigzagging the direction you're pushing it.
Okay.
Push it along straight hex lines.
Yeah, I'll just push it then
Leave.
towards the wall. And it takes 1 damage. Then I will... Yeah, screw it. Why not ray cannon it? So let me just see. Right, cans, and that should be. Oh wait, only 2 days. Wait, hold on. Let me. Where's the bowl? This is so bowl. You both in the bowl. How dare you? But I get to shard. So set up 4 solar drones in 1 turn. Okay. So that will be turn for that. So your next activation.
Okay. I'm going to wave up 1. Then how much life does Ash have left? Just have
2.
that's 2. I only had 1.
Nope, I didn't act.
Oh yeah, you didn't act, right? Well, then I need to get a bit lucky here. I'm going to Torrential Slash for 3.
Okay.
That is 2 failures.
So that means no damage.
But I do have to recharge too.
Solid. So that makes it my turn then, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do the Izzy, move 2. And let's start with the start point. Six. Any of the above. I didn't gain 5 energy.
I think for this dumb game mode, I'm gonna make a rule hot fix.
What's up?
There's not gonna be no more letter limit.
Oh no.
There it is.
Oh man. Freeze is like,
Right.
hurry up.
Let's see. I guess it defeats the purpose of the game mode being faster than normal if there's barriers. So yeah, just make 10 level 5s at the same time. Who cares? We'll
You
see.
got it. Alright. And then I'm gonna Searing Whiplash the Ion. That is a success. Take 1 damage and are blazed.
Fun. Okay.
And that's that activation.
Let's see. have a way of getting onto a star point, which is great. Kinda hoping to kill that Esha. Going to fire Ion at your Esha.
Okay.
Cores are higher. And this is my last activation of the round.
Okay. So
One
that
success.
is 1 energy drain and a rust.
Yeah, 1 energy drain and a rust.
Which star point doesn't trigger rust, if I remember correctly. Right?
Using the star point doesn't trigger rust.
Okay. Alright.
That's it for my activations this round as well. Well, no, I
Alright.
still have the Actol I can activate.
Yeah.
You're up.
Which, yeah. I should worry about that. Be really worried about that. I'm going to start with star pointing the arc. Gain 5 energy. Okay. This is helpful. This is good. 1, 2. Gonna 1, 2, 3, 4. Has 6 health. So we're gonna Gambit 2 for a Gambit 2. Let's be a little safe for a Desperate Arc Blade. Both misses. Shameful. And that's my arc.
Okay. Actol, I'm going to use antimatter lands on your arc.
Okay, this will catch a star drone.
And
Actually-
ones. Okay. 2 damage and rust.
Oh, actually, this catches this is what, range 6?
Yep.
Okay.
It does not catch your shot because you
It's not
pushed it back.
Yes. But it does
And then
catch.
I will also use extra critical lands on your arc.
Okay.
And that fails.
Okay. You do get a point for killing a star drone, I think, unless there's some.
Yes. I believe.
Yes. Okay. Alrighty. Then that makes it my turn.
Yep. That's all I can do this round.
Okay. It's time for the biggest brain play y'all have ever seen. So my Esha will accelerate her. Well, actually, you know what? Star point first. Because why not? Six. Any. Well, actually, now that we have no limits, no, that's not gonna help. I'm literally just like, damn, nothing helps because you have. Actually, yeah, I'll just use the move a star point buff 4 spaces. A little protection. Then I will Accelerator 6, go here, combine these two into the Izzy 2000. Then use Flicker to move for free. Back here.
I
Your
think this
blade
one might be the
cannot-
last round of new art on bots. Real quick, the Izzy 1000.
Oh, yes.
Wolf bot.
Yeah.
This one also
love-
turned out pretty cool.
Yeah, that one will look a lot better once it's on an appropriate background too. It's one of the more interesting EI robots, and much like a lot of like our more abstract and like animal type robots, they give it to Gen Trigger, and great stuff as usual, especially with the effects. Like Gen does a lot of really good like laser and beam effects and stuff like that.
I can't wait to see this on like probably like prowling in like the waste or something.
Yeah.
It's also a fun missing link with the level 3 Izzy combined from Aegis 1.
Yes.
It's pretty popular.
Yes. It might actually make that combined better. Huh. It'll take some evaluation. But your glaive is flickered.
Yes, it
And
is flickered.
that will be the last of my activations. So how does this work when we're recharging? Do we just fill till we have 5 bots now?
When you're recharging, no, you'll probably only bring in something, and you don't bring any. I think in this mode specifically, you don't bring anything unless someone died this turn. Did somebody die?
Nobody died.
Okay, yeah, then you're good.
Well, Star
Oh.
Token died, but
No, SAR
Yeah.
token. Every SAR token is an Endergancha.
Yeah. All right, damage. So you take 4 from that, 2 from that.
yeah, I'm probably not winning this.
Yeah, this is.
Every time I tried to hop on a star point, you happen to move my robot off the star point.
4. Move 4. Yeah, this is a natural part of playtesting an untested mode with a bunch of untested robots. Or not untested, but newly refurbished robots. We can probably cut this one off here, and then
Yeah, I feel like even with the combine rules, it was just hard to. It's still like the problem of getting them onto points.
I had a fun play this round, but you had to roll the that 6 so you could move your Soar out of the way. I was going to drop an arrow's meteor arrow and take out all your drones and your Soar.
Wait, how are you gonna meteor arrow?
with
The
because
Arrows 1000's beam arrow meteor has
Because,
arcing and it has the AoE on it.
has a
Yeah,
tiny touch, so that would have
Oh,
been
I
really
didn't.
So
I didn't see that.
if your Soar was still here, I could have dropped that on it and killed the tokens too.
Yeah, I didn't even see that, but holy crap. I just wanted out of the way because I was like, that act will eventually break through.
You could theoretically still kill a drone in an arc, and then that would deal some damage. Or you could, I guess you probably want to kill the SAR instead. But then,
I really want to kill that Sar.
yeah. But then, yeah, your robots are blockaded in by an army of tiny dinosaurs over on the stupid right side.
To be fair,
Yeah, I kind of got a bunch of bad luck. I got a lot of A, G, and I types in my hand.
to be fair, I was hoping
So,
you would
Not much I could
Well,
really.
you would kill Arc.
Well, Kettle
Drop
does
Fit.
actually have if something on Kettle's team ever actually managed to die, he had a trump card.
Oh,
too.
is this the stream debut of Endergancha's art too?
No, that was in like the launch dude. That was in like one of the blog posts.
Okay.
But yeah, it's interesting because yeah, sometimes when you do Star Point, it ends in like 4 rounds normally because sometimes you can just make a big guy and fly to their back line like Ender Gansha, and then it'll just, Epic would just take 10 damage.
Mhm.
So that's like something that could
Have
theoretically happen, but yeah, no, I think I've enough data from this specific thing. It's interesting.
These teams maybe aren't as mobile as some of the other ones? Question mark.
So maybe like
Iron Team's actually
15?
fairly mobile. They've got a lot of light actions and all
Yeah.
that.
Also
The Stell's team's very much not. It's very reliant on
arcane
small
and
movements and like overload and all that on a lot of its bots, especially because I got the Actyl, which is also an overload bot, and so just poor luck on my end. The Einer team has like a lot of self movement, a lot of flicker, all that jazz.
Yeah. So yeah, I should have remembered that stationary long range teams aren't very good at doing star point stuff in general. So that's like something I've been
You'd think they'd be great at holding the star points, but I think that move any robot 4 spaces thing moves my robots more than I can move my own robots.
Yeah, that's also. But then
And
alternatively,
the 3 damage is pretty much the health of my backline robots.
Yeah, so because we've been playtesting a lot of star point with Yesus's team, which is also like arcing dudes that have 3 health. She's not very good at star point either, so it kind of tracks. So yeah, I was like thinking about like different ways to like help out teams like that in star point, but I think maybe there's also the reality that like hyper aggro teams might just be better at seizing territory in this
yeah.
game mode.
I think the problem is that all the star point scenarios help a mobile team.
Yeah.
Like, I think you need to replace because I'm trying to think.
You want to add a river to the star point board, Breeze?
The
A river. You know, you
That's the
joke, but
secret.
that might help.
secret is adding a river to everything.
Yeah.
So this
Um,
Einer team's actually really good at dealing with the river, because you can stand in the river and then self-push yourself to launch out of it.
It's true.
This Einer team's the Einer team's actually a lot better at dealing with the river than some aggro teams that aren't named Etwall.
Yeah. I was about to say, I feel like some of these need. Well, I don't want to complicate this mode with like and or effect. Well, no, like choose like making each of them like pick X or Y.
Mhm.
But part of me is like, maybe that's the answer.
What do you mean?
Like, for example, 3 damage to a star point or 3 heal to a star point.
Oh yeah. It's we were thinking about doing something like that, or maybe like in Magic there's a mode called Plane Chase where you can spend 1 energy to roll a die, but maybe you could spend 2 to roll an additional time to fish for a result that you would actually want.
There's
And then
that.
pay 3 and pay 4, etc., etc. I was also thinking of like different things that might help like arcing teams, like maybe shooting a guy on a star point from far enough away would net you a point or something like that. But like
you say shooting people from far away to get points, because that would make this team a lot better.
yeah, right.
Shooting things from
I
far
mean-
away is what this new Stell's about.
I mean,
So-
maybe.
Like things like that. Like, but I also don't want to overcomplicate it because it's already adding. It adds like 3 or 4 new rules to like base Aegis with alternating activations, and then the star die, and then the act of standing on things to score. I think are the 3 things. Yeah, those are the 3 main things it adds.
But I mean, also, star point
Only
is like
Spawning.
chaotic mode. Like, when you're putting down a game of star point, you're not putting it down because it's easy. You're putting it down because it's chaotic.
It's true. You do get to roll the star guy and star die and do dumb stuff.
You know what would have been a great sideboard in for Starpoint mode? New Ipple. New Ipple would be great here.
Just
Oh, what?
drop it.
The combat drop one.
The Glorious Sky Ipple, yes. falling from the heavens to be annoying.
Yeah. So
Little
See.
sky monkey apple.
but yeah, this was
Oh, that's some more new art that we didn't actually show yet. You
Oh
wanna-
yeah. You know what's
one more
funny?
round?
Oh, yeah.
It looked kind of animalistic, so I was like, oh hey, Gen Trigger, and then I was like, nope, this is Nathaniel.
This is one of my newer favorites from Nathan. Also, not actually placed well on fancy background or in the frame properly yet, but it is pretty neat.
Look at those office chair wheels. It can roll wherever it wants in frame.
Hey.
Smooth gliding motion.
We need a
It
gif
does.
of Ipple 300 doing office chair tricks.
It's really what nipples are. There's both Tachikomas, but they're really office chairs. Because they're sentient office chairs.
Actually, you know what we need? We need like. You ever seen that stock photo of a dude standing on an office chair pretending to surf on it? We need that with like Sindane standing on an Ipple 300.
So what we're saying is like a future Ipple combine will just be like one of those overly fancy gaming chairs.
Yo, Chairbot though.
Chairbot. So yeah, not exactly a successful game of everyone's favorite robot game, but this is playtesting and playtesting culture. You can't have a riveting win every. So yeah.
Hey, look, every game is a learning experience, and it's
And
better
every-
for like. Wait, what's up?
Excuse me, but AEGIS actually stands for "and every game is special."
Oh, it's so good.
It's a learning experience. Now I know for next time, make the L3000, and
Zoom
it's gone
around.
differently for me.
No, now you know for next time to just shoot your own robots and poop out Ender Gansha on turn 1.
No, what I should have done is make a new Aerozel Soul on turn 1, and just center the pull on one of the robots and just yoink all of his robots off of star points at once.
It's true. Yeah, we didn't get to show off either of the level 5s.
We want to do that now, or we want to hold it for a future?
Yeah, we'll play test those later. But I need to. We'll do a thing where we actually play test them a little bit ahead of time before putting them on stream. In case they're a disaster.
I don't know what you're talking about. Every robot design is a winner.
That's also what AEGIS stands for. Every robot design is a winner. AEGIS.
We're just gonna have like a laundry list of Aegis acronyms.
Anyway, so since we started like 40 minutes late, epic.
Sorry.
Do you wanna call it for the night?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And so yeah, this is I have notes, and it will be good. It will be a gooder, fancier stream next time. Actually, what is our next stream?
Sometime in November.
Yeah, it's in like I think it's like on the 8th or the 11th or something.
It is. I actually have the events page open because I was looking. It is
Nice.
the 11th at 7 p.m. Eastern. It'll be a stream of 2-player co-op.
Oh yeah, we get to try out boss mode.
The Twitter
again.
says it's on the 9th, but
Is it?
yeah,
The
Twitter
Discord
says it's on the
says
9th. The event page says the 11th.
Oh, the
Oh,
image
man.
says the 9th.
Yes, on Twitter.
And the
Yeah.
Discord embed auto timestamp thing says the 9th, so.
Oh, well, yeah, it's the same image I posted. I thought I pulled. One of us did this wrong. I will assume it was me.
Who
But,
knows?
yeah.
I'll assume it's you because I can't actually join for anything on the 11th.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I guess we'll just do the. I mean, we'll do whatever the Discord thing is. I'll need to fix the image, or we'll talk about it after. We'll talk about it afterwards.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so either way, yeah, we'll be doing co-op boss fight. Because that's something that we tried before on stream. and it was pretty alright. And now I have some stuff I want to try for it again, because this will be another thing that'll be in the new scenario book for sure, as we're gonna put in some little co-op scenarios, because co-op scenarios are cool. And yeah. So tune in next time, either on the 9th or the 11th. Stay tuned for details. And yes. Do you have any parting words, everybody? I appreciate everyone's time here tonight with this thing, this Halloween thing. The spooky part is the rules not working.
What the?
Yeah, same.
Oh. No, wait, what? I think I cut out there. What?
Oh no, I was just adding parting words or whatever. Anyway, so yeah, we can cut off. All right, everybody say
Good night,
bye.
everyone.
Have a good night, everyone.
Happy
Good night.
Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.